Anyway, Dave, let's put a switch in here. Dave, if you were a game tester, after all your hours in CK3, on a scale from 1 to 100, what would you give CK3 right now, you personally?
Wow. Okay. Oof. Damn. Should I have like a drum roll? Should I build it up? I'm trying to think.
Just get out there. I wonder what you're gonna say. I have something in my mind.
So let me paint the picture first. So let me load up Steam first and just see how many hours I got in CK2. And that might give like a better idea like where I stand in the grand picture. So I have 216 hours in CK2.
Damn. Jeez.
I have all the DLCs apart from the Rule Designer, Rajas of India, Jade Dragon. I've got, well, actually, there's a lot of DLC I don't actually have.
I thought we were talking about CK3. What?
No, I know. I want to paint the picture. I want to say that because I feel like your opinion is going to be different to mine because you played way more CK2 and you played it with all the DLCs.
Okay.
So I think I've got into CK3 with an even more positive opinion because of my lack of experience in CK2. And because of that, I'm going to give CK3 a 9 out of 10.
Wow. I just said before we came on the stream where I said that I think for people that don't know CK2 very well or the whole Crusader King gameplay, CK3 is a very good game. But as someone who was really deep into CK2 and saw what was possible in CK2, you have a much more negative approach on CK3, like not a 9 out of 10, because you see more issues and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I've got like 2 or 3 friends that are like, ooh, they were so hardcore in CK2, at least 1,000 hours, and they have negative opinions about it too. It frustrates me a little bit because, I don't know, I've come into it like this such more positive outlook. Anyway, your turn.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I think CK3 is a 7 out of 10, but it has the potential to be a 9 out of 10 in the next 1 or 2 years, in my opinion. The more I play it, especially lately with my Roman Empire campaign, I see so many issues, so much unbalanced stuff, so many possible exploits.
Let's beat around the bush. Let's just go for them then. What are the issues?
What are the issues of CK3? Let's start slow. First of all, there's some animation bugs. Everybody knows that. Sometimes animations don't show, but that's like a small thing. Other than that, hardware-wise, everything is good. It sometimes crashes. For me, it crashed. Did it crash for you ever?
Only in the pre-release, not in the main.
For me, it crashed 2 times since release, which it's fine. I don't mind. It's like okay. But that's like the hardware stuff. But let's get to the gameplay stuff. Ooh, first of all, look at all YouTubers, all the fucking exploits, making super characters. The genetics are very imbalanced. You can too easily build superhumans, and you have to agree, right?
Are we talking about ISP's video?
For example, or just like, even when I just play the game, it's very, very easy to make your children have good genetics, good genetical traits. In CK2, that was much harder and much more rare.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fair comparison because I don't want to compare it to CK2. I want to compare CK3 as its own thing.
But I want to compare it to something balanced. And if it's that easy to make a Herculean genius, especially when you have the renown trait, you know, the family tree where you get the genetics better, that seems a bit hardcore in my opinion. Or at least I would maybe ask for a rule where I can go to the rule set and change how often genetical traits come around. You know, to me, it feels unbalanced there.
I feel like I've not reached the actual end date yet. Maybe when I do and I see like what kind of traits I have, maybe I'll be able to draw a better conclusion. I do think the traits are definitely way more inheritable than they used to be, but I've never found that I have control over them. They still have that random element of randomness, and because of that, I never really think they're OP. It's cool when you do get like a guy who's hale and intelligent, and it's like, oh shit, look at my stats now. Oh shit, I'm living till 80 years old. That's really cool. But then I get the next ruler and he's just pretty, and it's like, okay.
I get that, but I feel like, and I think if you would make a study or see the stats, it would be confirmed that it's much easier now to get the traits than CK2, which shows you that someone that was deep in CK2 sees stuff like that. If you knew, this is normal to you, which is, you can't blame anyone on that. But yeah, secondly, I see AI issues. There was many occasions on stream where the AI just bugs out and doesn't know what to do, and I just win a war for free and stuff. I see a lot of issues there, but there's always AI issues.
Did these exist in CK2? Because I remember the CK2 AI was just horrendous.
I think so, yeah. I don't remember, but yeah. But
I think this is the problem I've got. Like, I want to compare CK3 as it's an independent owned thing, you know, and I never really want to make it a battle between the sequel, because I mean you could do this with Hoi 4 and Hoi 3, and I suppose I feel like you could. I don't know. I want to treat them as their own things. That's all.
So with that get going on, we got a lot of balance issues. For example, Viking raiding is completely broken. When you have 5,000 Vikings, you can just burn all of England down, and you can do it again and again and again. The AI doesn't even stop you. In my case, I never got stopped. Like, I reached this point. You take one village in England as a Viking from Scandinavia, you make your rally point there, and you just infinitely raid England. And you just have infinite money and infinite prestige income. That looked very imbalanced to me.
Have you been down the stewardship path, the left path yet?
Not as a Viking, I was just warrior.
Because I think that path
you told me about that, yeah.
Yeah, it requires less clicks, and I think there's more money down there as well. There's one that sells titles, ones that demands money for hooks, and one that allows you to extort subjects. One, it gives you unlimited dread. Two, it gives you practically unlimited money, like you're making at least 5,000 to 10,000 gold per lifetime of your ruler. I think that path is
true. Money, another unbalanced looking thing. Like, I have a campaign right now where I'm not even that far yet, and I feel like money is no problem anymore. There's so much money coming in, I can get all the mercenaries I want. It's like, I can't really explain in detail, but when you build a building in CK3 that says, hey, if you build this building, you get 1 more gold. You get 1 more gold. You legit get the gold. In CK2, when you build a building that gives you 1 gold, you got like 50 cents more. Because the other 50 cents were like put away in taxes or some shit. And now it's so much easier to just make money and snowball from it. Yeah.
Someone reading your chat here. The Vikings controlled things in the Mediterranean, Africa, or some shit. It's fucked. You might want to look up on the history on that one, my dude, because...
I think he's referring to my game where the Vikings of Sweden completely own North Africa, almost all of England and Spain. There's a thing where they take stuff there, but they don't lose it anymore. It doesn't go away anymore. And I think I have to work with the rule set there, with the significant and limited inheritance or something. But yeah, Vikings are spreading a lot. I remember I was playing Vikings in my first game, and my vassals already took Spain from me. That wasn't the case in CK2. It's the enclaves, yeah, you gotta change the enclave rule.
Yeah, the enclave rule only applies to AI, it doesn't apply to players.
Yeah, but this AI Sweden already rules like the world. Other than that,
Were you Sweden?
No, I'm Italy, but the Swedish AI Viking just already rules.
Right, okay.
Even though I put the enclaves on. I see a lot of...
Just one thing to move on from that point. It's like, we can simultaneously say that one thing's OP, and then when the AI does something OP, that's not fair. I don't know, that kind of feels like a conflict of interest there.
What do you mean? When I do it, it's OP, and when he does it, it's unfair. Isn't that the same?
Yeah, that's the point I'm getting at. Yeah, like if the AI does something good, it's like, oh, it's OP and broken. But if the play does something OP and broken, it's like, oh, that's too strong.
I think you should answer the question as a def. But if when Sweden takes England and Spain and North Africa like that, maybe something could happen there.
Also, similar conversations that people have with Hoi 4, you know, like Germany's too strong, Germany's too weak, Italy's too strong, Italy's too weak.
Yeah,
Japan can't defeat China, China's defeating Japan.
At some point, something actually becomes realistically OP. Don't you think? At some point.
In a way, I maybe it's just because CK3 is a brand new game and there are lots of teething issues with it, being the fact that it's not had the billions of hours of playtesting they would have with players and just with devs. And I think because of that, I kind of really like a lot of the stuff that feels strong. You know, it feels really rewarding to the player, and a lot of the stuff you say, "Oh, it's broken." I just really, really like that. You know,
when you play Swedish Viking and your vassals take all of England and Spain for you, even though you never asked them to do it, you like that? But I mean, that's a question that everybody will answer differently. But I would say I would wish I would have an option in the rules, and I'm now playing with limited enclave, that this would not happen. Give me the option that, you know, they don't do that.
I see what you're saying. I just think I know it's a combination of you want it too hard, and then also you want some bits to be more easy, and I don't know. It's hard. I don't know.
In the end, some balance questions. Let's get the next one. In my opinion, huge issues. Especially, I don't know how the normies and the new people that started Crusader Kings for CK3 is, how they handle this. When you play Christian, you can't change your priest, and far more importantly, and I think a lot of people agree with me on that, I think that the succession system needs a little rework. Primogeniture, the succession law where you actually finally fucking save, happens way too late game, 1100, 1200. For the first 20 hours of every campaign that you start in 860 whatever, you have to... I feel like the biggest enemy in the game is my own succession. Micromanaging my succession is the most important thing in the game.
I love it. I absolutely adore it.
I think they did that and people like it because it makes the game harder. Like if you fuck up and your son split everything, oh, here we go again, I have to restart and fix this issue. But I especially in my campaign right now, I feel very annoyed by it after a while. Like I have to disinherit children, I have to kill children, blah, 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 blah.
If we had Primogeniture early, and we also had Sweden not blobbing out, I feel like we'd be here having the same conversation saying the game's way too easy.
I get that. But shouldn't the game be about conquering, map painting, and having wars, and not paying attention of your sons for 20 hours?
I mean, CK is all about the politics of the Middle Ages. It's not just warfare and painting the map.
But in CK3 there's this brand new succession law called what's it called? Someone help me here.
Yeah, federated partition.
Like they break apart from you and even build their own titles now. Like even more fucking CK2 now. And I would have wished, like in CK2, right? You have two sons. The two sons split your titles equally. Now they make their own titles. If you own the Italian lands, but you didn't make the Kingdom of Italy yet, the son, like. Your heir's brother will just Confederate Patrician, yeah. He will just make King of Italy, and that makes it so much harder, so much harder. I just felt like in my 30 hours of CK3, the most cared you have to do is successional. I followed this German streamer. He's a big German streamer, and he played CK for the first time in his life, and he always loses his games and quits his games because his succession fucks him up. Because he's brand new to the game, he doesn't understand yet how exactly does he manage it. Oh, I have too many sons, now I'm fucked. It seems very swampy, this entire thing.
A lot of the hardcore players don't get it because it wasn't in CK2. And now we have, I guess, more of an explanation of why Asturias breaks up. We have more explanation of why Charlemagne's empire breaks up. And I guess it just brings more context to that. I think when you discover, for instance, if you start as a civilized if you start as someone who's already got feudalism, you can rush regular partition, and then instead of that, you can just destroy those kingdom titles. So you can literally be the only ones holding the kingdom title, so you never have that issue.
Yeah, but can you really rush? You need a tier 2 research. I started yesterday, and that takes some in-game hours to get that. That takes a while.
It's early medieval period, I think.
Even though I feel like I learned yesterday, it could actually be fun to play learning characters a lot. People that have high learning and rush research, like playing tall. That sounds kind of interesting.
I tried that yesterday as Mali, and there's still quite a lot of waiting around. I had a 50 learning character. She was a wise woman.
15 or 50?
50.
You had a 50 learning character?
You gain it because when you're on the career path of learning, you get a lot of events to improve your learning.
Jesus.
Yeah, they keep firing over and over again, and you like pay prestige and stuff. Yeah, 50.
I would love to see what the difference is between a 50 researching a culture tech and a 10. Like, what's the time difference? I would love to.
It's about 20 years.
20? That's huge, actually, in the long run.
Yeah, but the average time's still really long anyway. So I was tribal, I was Mali, I was focusing on learning, and for the most part, I was still having like massive issues of getting those initial techs. The hardest part of becoming feudal is you have to research all the tribal techs.
Yeah.
And it takes such a long time. Did you ever do that as... Oh,
the Vikings,
of course, you changed religion, didn't you? Did you change religion?
I only had 2 games, Vikings and now Italy, but I never changed religion. I just did that for an achievement in the end, which I didn't get because I didn't turn on naked people.
The meta to that, I think, is you've got to change culture. You find a culture group that's advanced, like Frankish or something.
Yeah.
And then you flip to that, and then there you can
But it's, yeah, that seems so spotty though. You're a Viking that changes to Frankish just for better research, you know?
Yeah, dude. Well, I guess...
I think you just pick...
Yeah, I guess you couldn't flip back either, could you? No. But that's the meta, I think, there. And it's really easy. You can just move your capital, and you click the decision on the right that just says flip culture.
Yeah, I've been thinking. I was playing Sardinia, and once you're in Italy, you should actually switch to Italian culture. It's going to be so much easier. Which is a bit sad, because you just throw away your culture and don't really work around it.
Are you civilized?
Yeah, I'm Sardinian Catholic feudal. Civilized. Yeah, feudal.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I can see a lot of things I'm critiquing here is because I went deep into CK2. I think someone that freshly starts with CK3, he doesn't even know what he's missing. And obviously my main issue, which is fine though, the game is fresh, and even the developers themselves say this is an ongoing project, CK3 will grow with time. You know me, I'm a role player. I like to roleplay and feel connected to my character, you know, and a lot is missing there. So far, I didn't have a single character I felt connected to that felt special, no societies. Yes, you have the skill trees, but after a while they repeat. You know, after a while you know the money skill tree and you just click, you don't care anymore. And there has to happen a lot there, obviously. I don't blame him for that. It will come with time. We're getting a ruler designer. We're probably going to get societies. But at this point in time, I feel very... The way I'm defining CK3, I like the sentence. I came up with the sentence. I very much like... If CK2 makes a big step towards EU4, you get CK3. Because it's much more map painty, arcadey, war. And much less character and family roleplay, in my opinion. Would you agree with that term? That statement?
I feel like you're asking for EU4 there.
I wanted to step away from EU4 and step towards CK2.
Well, I mean, then you establish that CK is more of a character-based politics game, you know?
Yes, and that's what Crusader Kings is, right? And I think they will even advertise CK3 as dead. And I think it's going to happen with time as we get more role-play-ish DLCs. For example, the World Designer. But as a role player, there's I'm missing some stuff, you know? Like, the content that I make, personally, for Crusader Kings 2 was always, like, the role play, the stories, this character has done this, and blah, 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 you know? And that's very hard for me to do. As someone that creates content, I'm gonna map paint, I'm rushing achievements, much easier. But for the role players, I think the role players are a bit disappointed about CK3 right now. Like items, for example, yeah. Stuff like that.
I'm looking at the top subscribed mods for CK3. We've got cheats, bigger portraits, undress your character mod.
Dude, 100% there's human beings on this planet that already jerked off to CK3 nude characters. 100%. They exist. Damn. Probably watching right now, you crazy fuck. Like, I feel like I was asking this question. God comes from heaven and says, listen, Dave or viewer or whoever, you can play CK2 right now for the rest of your life, or CK3 right now for the rest of your life. Both are in their current state.
CK3. Oh, no doubt about it. I don't have to hesitate.
But why?
So, first of all, the game and the interface talks to you way more than CK2. A lot of the issues in CK2, you would have to basically like either track the forums or the Reddit or speak to a friend that knew a lot about the game to understand some like more meticulous elements of the game. Now, the ledger that tells you the lines of inheritance, I don't have to dig through like 4 or 5 different menus. The menu feels so much more responsive and active, and I feel like I want to use it and be more interact with it. Where like CK2, just everything's... I don't know about you, but that sound effect... Oh, God. Okay, so you have a high tolerance for sound effects that repeat. Okay, you played the SpongeBob game the other day, and I heard that music loop for the 20th time. I literally went a little bit mad, okay? But it's the same thing with CK2, okay? In CK2, that event sound, when an event pops up, you don't hear it, okay? But maybe we would load up CK2 and hear that event sound and hear it fire 50 times in a freaking row. Oh my God, it drives me absolutely insane.
I get that. That's more like a hardware thing that it feels smoother and stuff, and the UI, I fully get that. But content-wise, CK2 right now is still so far ahead, and you cannot deny that. Far ahead.
So what elements are you missing?
Oh man.
Go on, fire them at me. Go at me.
Items. Reforming religions, because you told me this. Reforming religions like Hellenism is almost impossible. The lowest it is 7,000 piety, right? You researched that.
Yeah.
Like,
as far as we're aware, it's still not doable.
Bringing back a Hellenist Sparta, kind of impossible right now in CK3. Society is huge. The whole conclave stuff is gone, meaning taking care of bishops and the Pope and influencing that stuff. You can't play republics. Building great works. I think CK2 has much more events, much more decisions. Rule designer and making your own family. Hordes. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to shit on CK3. I just think in the current state, CK2 has much more, what's it called? Supernatural stuff, like immortality and stuff.
Yeah, they've chosen to not go for any of that with this, haven't they? There's literally none of it in the game.
But once again, I read this tweet of one of the devs who said, man, I couldn't find it right now. Replayability. Who said, this is their business model. They release a game, and then this game gets better with time. And I get it. CK3 will be like that in a while. It's just a bit, they have to wait now. And also, this is a personal thing. I don't know how you guys feel about this. But I played 2 games so far in CK3, and I already feel like everything's too similar. Make a claim, raise your army, kill him. Make a claim, raise your army, kill him. Take care that your family's fine. Make sure you don't die. When you die, you don't get fucked. Like, it gets a little bit repetitive already, in a way. And the way Stay says I'm CK3 addicted. Well, Stay is a normie, he doesn't know. Now I forgot what I want to say. In CK2, the replayability was much harder because your family the story that your family took was always so different, man. You could become a Satanist and blah, blah, blah. I know CK3 will go there. And here's a great example. One of my best friends, he's a very patient guy. He doesn't want to buy games when they come out. He doesn't mind buying games 2 years later. And he said, Tommy, should I get CK3 right now, or would you say I should wait a while? And I told him, listen, and he has thousands of hours on CK2. I told him, wait 2 years, wait for the first 2 DLCs, wait till it's on sale for the first time, next year Christmas, and then get it. If you have the patience, you're going to have a much better product in the end, in my opinion.
So I'm going to agree with you that those elements to the game would be better. It would make an overall better title. It's kind of like saying in Hoi 4, would it be better with all the DLCs? Yeah, of course it would be. But here comes the big but. They can't be the exact same features that were in CK2. They can't be. They need to find ways to integrate it with the existing game better to stop them to feel like these standalone floating elements of features. Now, I personally don't like the treasury. I thought the treasury was crap. I felt like I was playing RuneScape with a bunch of these little graphics in a lovely grid that did these tiny, small, insignificant things. I know you like them because you like to roleplay. I have the skull of my enemy here, la 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 la. But for me, they didn't interact enough with the main game. Maybe there would be events that would happen that would reoccur over and over again based on be holding specific certain items. I know you had an event chain when you got a certain relic, but for the most part, when you had it just sat in your inventory getting dust and gaining your 0.01 prestige per month. It feels like it needed to interact more with the main game. And of course, the stupid names like +1 sword. I'm like, am I playing Dungeons & Dragons here or CK2? Oh, congratulations on your +3 crown. I'm like...
Yeah, but it makes you feel much more connected to your character, though, because your family has a certain treasury. But as you're saying, you can't do the same again, but you could do the same again. I think they already do the same. For example, you can't play Republics because they're planning a Republic DLC for Venice, that's for sure. Make DLCs for CK3 that bring back old stuff, but better and maybe change. For example, bring back a treasury, and as you say, try to make it in a way that it feels better for someone like you with your critique points. More balanced maybe, because the items were a bit unbalanced in CK2. It was very easy to get Jesus' foreskin in the first minute. Something like that, yeah. But when you say they should have new ideas, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see societies. I think we're going to see republics. I think we're going to see rule designer. We already know that. We're going to see items again. I think that will bring a lot of old stuff back, which is not bad.
I really hope they don't. If they are, I want them to put
you're
their
saying
new...
you're against the societies and Republic DLC? And
I'm not
like
against
the Conclave DLC?
I'm not against the idea of them. I'm just an idea of just bringing back the features and copy and pasting them CK2.
Don't copy paste, yeah.
They need to be full of life. They need to be different. They need to feel more inclusive to the main body of the game. They can't just be these independent floating features that don't interact with the main body of the game.
Well, I would guess if we would jump into the future now 3 years and we look at CK3 in 3 years, I think that after I would have been right and they just brought back old ideas, I would think, for the most part.
Think of it from someone who's bought the DLCs. Can you imagine, like, just buying the Society's DLC as exactly as it was from CK2 and paying $20 from that? Oh my god,
no,
guys,
you're
come
totally
on.
right. You're totally right. But they will obviously package it differently with other features, probably. I think they will bring back old stuff, but in a different type. You know, maybe this DLC gives you Societies and something else or something. But yeah, you're totally right. They should have new ideas. Would be cool. Like, for example, I don't know, national ideas or something. Like, you play Germany, you have different research streams. So sure. Very excited to see the future. But as a roleplay kind of guy, I would be very sad if in the next 3 years I don't see, for example, Societies and items coming back. That would make me a bit sad. Because for a roleplayer like me, I feel like I'm, as an exclamation mark, role player, CK3 player, I'm the minority, I think. But we role players, we want certain stuff where our family feels more special, you know, feels more different. Like look at CK3 right now. You have no Societies, no items, and that kind of leads to the point where all families, if I play an African guy, an Italian guy, a Viking guy, they all kind of feel the same. There's only what's different. The skill tree you take.
Well, I mean,
what makes characters different? What makes an African, a Catholic guy, and a Viking different in CK3? Well,
rating, technology.
The answers that you can give to this question are much less than in CK2, and I would wish that the amount of these answers will grow. That's what I would say. You know, the tech tree and religion. The tech tree is not different. No, that's not true. The cultural tree are the same. You have specialties in the bottom, the 5 ones, but the cultural trees are the same. Yeah, and religion, yeah. But in CK2 there was much more difference, man. But yeah, it's not a critique. It will come with time. It's fine.
The modding tools are pretty advanced for CK3, so maybe these copy-paste features that you desperately want, I think they're probably going to be coming anyway.
Sure, but that turns off Iron Man mode, right? Fuck mods. Excited for
you want your cake and eat it, don't you? You just...
I feel like if we go to the future, we will have Societies and items in CK3. I'm very sure about that.
I just don't even think what Societies are even going to add more to the game, to be honest with you. Because at the minute, I feel like improving your character's stats is really easy in games. So it feels like, what is Society even going to do anymore?
Societies give your character so much more opportunity to feel different, to have more adventures. Even though you have much more... sometimes I see in chat people saying, in peace, when you are in peace times in CK... This is a great argument. When you have peace in CK3, what's going on? You fuck your wife, get some children, can't even name them for your grandchildren, you hold a feast, you go on a hunt. There's not much going on when you have peace times. And stuff like Societies give you so much more events, so much more to do in peace times.
Let's find an area that we probably both agree to. If there's more flavor to be added to the game, it'll be in the form of more events.
Yes. And that will happen. Yeah. That will happen. Well, I didn't really ask you. Can you please name negative feelings you have about CK for now and what you would like to see in the future for yourself? I really like that you have a totally different approach than me on CK3, and I would like to hear how you think about what do you want to see in the future and what do you don't like right now. Because you're not really that roleplay guy so much.
That's a really good question. I haven't really thought about that one.
We're listening, Dave.
A lot of the things I have issues with, I don't like to bring up because I feel a little bit nitpicky. Like, for instance, when you mass ransom, you get spammed with 20 events as well. That's just a bit frustrating. It could be summarized in one event from there, and that would be fine. I like the partition system. I like it a lot because I feel like it adds that extra challenge and politics. And I did play the Byzantine Empire from the early start date, and they start with Primogeniture. And my God, is that a freaking walk in the park? Oh my God. Roman Empire, within 100 years, boom, done.
I get that. I also feel like when I will start a new CK3 game, I will take much more attention and I will organize my family much more. Just taking care, oh, you have 3 children, stop fucking your wife, and the game will get much, much easier. That's what I really learned.
I wish Maybe this is something the coders will find out eventually, but at the minute I still don't fully understand education. Sure, they have an initial trait that they get at like 3 years old, and that trait decides if they're going to be strong into 2 different areas, then weaker in a certain area. But then you assign an educator, and then they turn out to be like a tough warrior, and I'm like,
yeah, that happened to me too. That's
yeah,
weird sometimes, yeah.
I can't tell if that's RNG or is there something built into the characters where they need to have high learning too to be able to teach the children. I still don't fully understand how that's meant to work.
Someone says, I've seen people make Rome in only 100 years in CK3. Must be true, right? If you play Byzantinia? Oh, damn. Like, I just saw that already 0.5% of players have the Roman Empire achievement, which is a lot.
What is the rarest achievement? Let's have a look.
Where do you check that? Do you know, like, the website or something?
CK3 most popular achievement. Pretty sure I googled this when I was looking for Hoi 4 achievement.
Can you, like, share the website?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna find it all. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. On Steam. Let's just wait. Dave will send a link. Huh. Some of the achievements are broken at the end. Steam says. When I need a link. But don't worry. Dave will has it. Oh, I ate 1 kebab and I have 2 poop attacks all day, man. There's so much pooping going on.
Damn, dude. It's your one weakness, dude.
Mother of us all is... Let's just see. There we go. Here's the link.
Just someone already got it. Oh, there we go.
Okay, let's check the rarest. 0%. Starting as Daurauma Daura, have your line reform an African faith and convert all of Africa to it. How is that so hard?
It's because it's converting. It's very slow.
Ah. Oh. Man, you agree with me on that? Religion needs a little bit of rework. Like, bring back faiths and stuff. This is way too much piety and stuff. And true, converting countries takes way too long. I had a level 17 priest converting an Orthodox country to Catholic. It took so long, man. So long.
There's a few stats in the background that affect this, I think. There's one of them fervor. If, like, for instance, your religion has lower fervor than theirs, there's, like, a big factor there, too. I've found the best strategy for that is just to convert the top vassals. So if all your top vassals are all Catholics, they tend to do it for you inside of your nation. Sure, it still takes a long time, don't get me wrong, but...
Wow, how interesting. Starting as any child of Ragnar Lothbrok, conquer all of Britain. No one pulled that off yet. Wow. I thought when I read that the first time it must be so hard, because you have to kill all of Great Britain in one single lifetime. Ay. Wow, a lot of achievements are still not taken yet. As a French Catholic, hold the kingdom of Thessaloniki without being vassalized by Byzantium. That seems so easy. Why does no one have that?
As a French Catholic, hold the kingdom of without being vassal. Yeah, that is strange, isn't it?
That sounds very easy. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I imagine you have to deal with the politicians.
Where's Roman Empire? Dude, so many people have Rome already. 0.5%. Rome must be so easy when you start as the Byzantines.
And not only that, but people have gone for this too because it's spicy too, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to do it as a count. That's gonna be interesting.
How did the Emperor's new clothes go?
And you saw it live on stream. I was an emperor.
For the audience.
I was an emperor. I tried to become naked, but I turned off nudeness in the rules, so you can't get the achievement if you turned on nakedness. Fucking ridiculous.
Damn, dude, you're so PC now, Tommy. What's happened to Edgelord Tommy? What happened to him?
What do you mean PC, huh? What? What? I have sponsors now and shit. I gotta be careful. Look at all this.
Guys, that's it. Tommy's PC now, like he's bowing to his sponsors.
Yeah, I never use any curse words anymore. Yeah, I'm PC. Let's check my latest tweet. Let's check the tweet I did when I was pooping. Let's see how PC I am. What did Tommy tweet when he was pooping?
Oh damn, dude.
Man, he's so PC. Damn. Good tweet. Sell out? Whoa! I'm the one giving giveaways every fucking day, man. Fuck you.
Chat is so upset with you, my dude. So mad.
They're Twitch shit. What the fuck do they think they are? Well, you didn't answer my question, Dave. I was asking you, what will you wish for in the future of CK3? What will your wanted first DLC look like?
You know what surprises me most with like DLCs for Paradox games is whenever they implement a feature, they always do it in a way that I didn't expect, and I like that feeling that it's in the game and it's just nothing how I would imagine it would have worked. And they've done that every single time with Hoi 4. So it's kind of like predicting something that I can't predict. So it's a real toughie. I would like Now, I would like to see it in a different form than it was in CK2. No copy-paste Reno. I want to see more spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I know reincarnation's in it, but it's just a... I guess it's.
You mean like more supernatural events?
Supernatural. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, more supernatural stuff would be really, really cool. I don't know, Witches and Mystics DLC, something like that. But I want to, once again, I want to see it in a different form than it was in CK2. I don't want to see a button that's separate to a menu that I have to click into, that fires all separate events, that's somehow disconnected from the main game. Fuck that.
Oh, I would love to see an earlier start date in CK3. I used to love... If you look on technology, the technology starts in the year 400 something when the Roman Empire fell apart. There might be a DLC one day where you can actually play this early. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. I think that would like introduce horde mechanics, wouldn't it? Because it would need to show like the Frankish Vandals and whatnot, and their migrating tribes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe,
even though I always used to love playing CK2 on the early start because I like to play. I built everything from the beginning, like everything is 0. But it seems like it's going to be much harder on CK3 because if you don't have cultural tech, you are.
Actually, you know what? I've just had a dawned on me. This is never going to happen because this is literally for Roman Emperor, isn't it? So that's never going to be in CK.
Nah, that's no. The earliest start date in CK3 was the Ragnar Lothbrok start date and Charlemagne start date of 796, and I don't think that Imperator Rome will ever go up to 769 or whatever. No.
Oh, I was talking about as if there was a crossover of like Rome's, like the collapse of the Roman Empire.
Maybe they could meet there. 769, yeah. That's when you can play Ragnar Lothbrok.
I think the collapse of the Roman Empire is something that's never been done in a computer game and done well. I know Total War did it, and I just don't think it really worked. It was awful.
Yeah.
The most fun part of playing a map game is starting off incredibly small and painting the map your color and spreading out. And when you start the game, you control half the freaking world. I just don't think it was very fun.